Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian World. I'm your host, Taner Khambatar. And for top stories, the 416.1 kilometer Tavantolgoi-Zuunbayan railway will be commissioned in October. Model car collection showcases Mongolian car history. 30 secondary school students are now young environmental protectors. And for the news, stay tuned. The Tavantolgoi-Zuunbayan railway is a 416.1 kilometer long, one station, 6 lanes, third-grade railway covering the territory of Mongolia and Mongolian provinces. A total of 1.4 trillion MNT was spent over the past 4 years. More than 6,000 people from 104 domestic enterprises have been involved in the construction work. The general staff of the Internal Armed Forces was managed by our company under the supervision of an engineer. We must be 100% responsible for the quality of the structure. On the issue of infrastructure, it seems that there is a lack of energy and communication services. We completed our inspection on July 9, 2020 and left. Also, our company's other project is a 22-kilometer road connecting the Zuunbayan and Qashon-Sukhat railways, which is expected to be completed on July 1st. The construction work started in 2019 and is currently 92% complete. In the third quarter of 2022, the 416.1 kilometer of the Zuunbayan Tavantolgoi railway will be commissioned. The Ulaanbaatar Railway Joint Stock Company, the general staff that approved the structures, was built by Mongolian engineers. The commissioning of the Tavantolgoi-Zuunbayan railway will create about 1,000 new jobs in the countryside. Transportation costs will be reduced by 2 to 4-fold compared to road transport. In the Gobi region, a sedentary zone will be formed and heavy and light industry will develop. 40 to 50 licensed deposits will be put in the economic circulation, and there will be a new way to export coking coal from the Tavantolgoi mine to Russia, China and third countries. Umngo and Dorngo province have a policy of employing local people in the railway sector. We plan to put a new railway track into service as soon as possible to assist the Mongolian economy and enhance the move of goods both for exports and imports. The commissioning of the railway in October this year will reduce the cost of transporting coal to the other directions at Khange port in Umngo province. Ulaanbaatar will also be able to provide direct transportation to Russia. 30 students from Bayındır district secondary schools participated in the Youth Environmental Protection Program. The program was implemented through a United Nations initiative with support from the Australian government.
The program was carried out by the staff of the National Garden Park. The Australian Embassy in Mongolia was approached to support the UN initiative to develop an environmental education project for Mongolian children and youth.
It was a month when a lot of work was being done in the park, such as planting trees and maintaining green areas. During this time, our children were with us, planting trees, caring for trees, conducting field experiments, and practicing many things with our staff. Our proposal was accepted by the National Garden Park. We were able to plant trees together and organize many activities, including the active participation of our staff and the provision of shelters.
These leading middle school students who run their school's ecology clubs were trained for 6 months. They also had hands-on internships at the green facility and received career advice.
You need to love and take care of the environment as much as you can. You don't have to do big things. You can protect nature by taking small steps. I want to show my peers ways to protect the environment. I hope that we can share this knowledge with children at our school to teach them a lot more about looking after nature. I provided information to the children about what to look for in the future. I'm very happy to be a leader for these children.
For the first time, high school students from Bayındır districts were included in the program. The youth conservation program will be organized on a regular basis. The program's organizers say that children from other districts in Ulaanbaatar will also be involved in the future.
A local studio is building models of vehicles used in Mongolia during the 20th century. The collection shows how the cars Mongolia has used have evolved over the time.
The model car collection even includes the ZIS-5 truck used during the 1960s. The studio has created models of all the cars used in 20th century Mongolia, reproduced at a 1:43 scale.
The goal of our studio was to create models for all vehicles used in 20th century Mongolia, some of which don't exist today. We focused on details like the colors, how the license plates were placed, and how they're refurbished.
The models even showcase how loads, like hay bales, were carried on trucks. The studio's artisans say that building a model car requires dexterity and meticulous observation. They also extensively studied the car they are working on.
We only create work by hand for the model. The hay bales were also made at a 1:43 scale. Keeping that in mind, we manually put the hay pieces together. After that, we painted them and bundled them like they appear in real life.
Some customers have placed orders at the studio to build models that resemble cars their fathers once drove. For them, the final product isn't just a model car, but a sentimental memory. For the studio's artisans, it's a beautiful moment when customers share their feelings with them.
My father bought this type of truck in 1969 and he connected a trolley to the back. My childhood was spent in the truck's cabin. This model car has the same license plate number as my dad's truck. I am grateful to the artisans for the model.
Likshit was a second-generation truck driver who spent 42 years driving. There are many other people for whom cars aren't just the means of transportation, but vehicles for their dearest memories. Skilled car model builders help them to bring cherished memories to life.
Here's the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Here's the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.